It is worth pointing out that contrary to what is being claimed today, Sardar Patel was actually the architect of Article 370. So once the partition plan is announced, the issue of the princely states really comes to the fore, and there is a huge amount of time pressure because this issue has to be dealt with before 15th of August 1947. And this is what the government of India really had to deal with. And the person who came up with a very simple and straightforward solution to this problem was the secretary to the Ministry of States, a man called V.P. Menon, who worked for the Minister of States, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So Menon basically said that drawing on a provision in the Government of India Act of 1935, we could just ask all states to accede to the Union of India on just three subjects: foreign affairs, defense, and communication. Now, it was on this basis that the accession of most of the states happened before 15th of August 1947. It is worth pointing out that contrary to what is being claimed today, Sardar Patel was actually the architect of Article 370. Contrary to all these claims about saying, oh, if Vallabhbhai Patel had been dealing with Kashmir, the entire state would have been us, he was actually at this point of time prepared to trade off Kashmir for Hyderabad. And rightly so. Hyderabad is, as you all know, squarely in the middle of heart of India. And that was, to him, the most important issue to be dealt with, not Kashmir. And in fact, this is not a secret. On 11th of November 1947, when the Indian army moved into Junagadh, Vallabhbhai Patel went and made a public speech where he mentions the same point. And you can all go and read that speech. It's available in his collected speeches. He says, we told the Pakistanis that if you can give us Hyderabad, we are willing to give you Kashmir. Right? Article 370 was only about extending other provisions of the Indian constitution to the state of J&K. How could the same article be used to change the constitution of that state itself? Now, what this would mean is that if a provision of the Indian constitution was being extended, the Constituent Assembly of Kashmir had to finally accept it and embody it in the state's constitution. Only then the two constitutions could comport with each other, right? Now, what this also meant is that once the Constituent Assembly of the J&K state met, framed the state's constitution and dissolved and proclaimed that constitution, no further provisions of the Indian constitution could be extended to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, it is in this way that an ironclad guarantee was given, or what people assumed were ironclad guarantees back then, about the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. That is how autonomy was given. What the current attempt and attempts in the past are really about is to say that we need a nation state which is not just united in the sense of being one unified entity, but it's also homogeneous. Now that cuts against the fundamental vision of the Indian Constitution, which has always catered for lots of asymmetries, right? Those who get excited about Article 370, please go and read Article 371, which makes similar kinds of asymmetric provisions for a number of other states. Another argument that is being advanced, and this is what I began with, is that Article 370 somehow led to separatism and insurgency. Actually it's totally the other way around. It is the diminution, dilution, destruction of Article 370 which paved the way for the insurgency to happen. If investment is to happen in Kashmir, you need peace, security, and stability to come in the first place. If you are not going to have peace, security, and stability, believe me, Indian capital is not going to go to Kashmir. Capitalism can do many things, but nationalism cannot balance out your books. So let me just finish by saying that Kashmir is at a very crucial juncture in its history. And at this point of time, I think it is important for us to understand its real history, rather than swallowing myths